So, good morning everyone. We are Group 1 and we are going to present the Unit 4 Supply Chain Management. So, before anything else, we're going to have a prayer. So, Mr. Arabejo, please lead the prayer.
Ready to pray? Thank you for this new day and the opportunity to learn. Guide our minds to understand our lesson, our heart to stay kind and respectful, and our action to do what's right. Help us focus, work together, and grow in knowledge and wisdom. Bless our teacher and classmate and keep us safe throughout the day. Amen.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Arabejo. So, please proceed. So, objectives. So, after completing this unit, you will be able to learn about define the MRP, identify the function of MRP, understand the meaning of GIT and describe its issues, define supply chain management, function of supply chain management, and aggregating production planning. So for our introduction about the materials requirement planning or MRP, MRP is a widely used system that uses computer technology to plan and control manufacturing processes. It was developed in 1964 by Joseph Orlecki after studying the Toyota production system. The system computerized MRP system was implemented by Black and Decker. So the origin of it is developed on 1964 with early implementation by companies and like Black and Decker. So MRP is a push system, meaning production is based on the forecast demand, unlike lean system which rely on actual demand. So number two is system type. MRP is push system, meaning production is based on forecasted demand rather than actual demand. For number three is growth. It became widely adopted after Orlicki 1965 book, leading to the many MRP software system by the 1980s. So, ang Materials Requirement Planning or MRP ay isang computer-based system na ginagamit sa manufacturing para magplano ng mga kailangang materyales at ayusin ng production schedule. Ang MRP ay tinatawag na push system kasi base ito sa forecast o inaasahang demand. Ibig sabihin, nagkaplano at gumagawa ka base sa inaasahang dami ng kailangan ng mga customer. Iba ito sa lean production o pull system, kung saan gumagawa ka lang ng product kapag may totoong order or actual demand na dumadating. Example nito, yung mga maliliit na welding workshop, like iilan lang yung mga workers nila and on the spot sila gumagawa ng mga welding product. Next is the basic of MRP. So, ang pangunahing layunin ng MRP ay i-calculate ng eksakto kung ano yung materyales, pyesa at gaano karami yung kailangan, pati na rin kung kailan ito kailangan para matapos ang product. So, it is a simple process of MRP. So, first, check muna nila yung kasalukuyang laman ng inventory or stock. So, pangalawa is inaalam kung kung gaano karami yung kulang na materyales. And then yung pangatlo naman is nagsischedule sila ng mga production para sa pagbili ng mga bagong kailangang gamit. So, para gumana ito, kailangan ng MRP ang tatlong main information. Number one is Bill of Materials, which is BOM. So, ito yung detalyadong listahan ng lahat ng materyales, pyesa na kailangan para makabuo ka ng isang product. Next naman is inventory records. Dito naman nakalagay yung dami ng stock na meron pa kayo sa inyong sa bodega or sa inventory ninyo kung meron pa kayong mga materyales na kailangan. O ito yung ginagamit or gagamitin na order na. Next naman is master production schedule. So, plano ito kung gaano karaming product ang kailangang or ilang product yung gagawin or kailan ito gagawin. So, ginagamit ito sa lahat ng mga uri ng manufacturing mula sa paggawa ng bakal at pyesa hanggang sa paggawa ng mga chemical or mga inumin.
Tinutulungan ng MRP na yung company na masigurong may sapat na materials at hindi nakaka-delay sa production. So nakakatulong din ito para ma-manage yung inventory at production schedule na ng mas efficient. Yun lang. So, next.
Okay, next, MRP versus ERP. So MRP involved in the broader system over time in 1983. Oliver White introduced MRP2, which include financial and operational planning. Later, Gartner coined ERP in 1990. ERP is integrates all business functions such as finance, HR, and supply chain into one system, while MRP focuses mainly on the production planning. So, ang MRP ay naging MRP2 dahil sinama na rito ang financial at operational planning. At kaya ngayon ay tinawag na siyang ERP. So, ang ERP ay isang integrated system na nakakonect sa lahat ng business functions, which is finance, HR, sales, and supply chain. Samantalang ang MRP ay primary focus lang sa production planning, which is sa materyales at sa pagbuo ng product. Kaya ang enterprise resource planning, siya ang para sa kabuuang production or sa buong departments, siya yung mas applicable. Yun lang. For the background and history, Mr. Antonio Kaingkoy. Next reporter.
Hello everyone, my name is Antonio Joshua Kaikoy and I will report all about background and history. So, just is just in time or JIT is a Japanese management philosophy developed in the 1970s by Taichi Ono at Toyota. It focuses on producing goods exactly when they are needed, minimizing delays and eliminating unnecessary inventory. JIT emphasizes employee involvement, efficient processes, and continuous improvement. So dito po, ang JIT or also known as Just in Time is pong Japanese management philosophy na na-develop noong 1970s ni Taichi Ono sa Toyota. And ang focus nito ay ang pag-produce ng goods exactly kapag kailangan sila. And para ma-minimize naman ang delays, unnecessary inventory at waste, ine-emphasize din ng JIT ang employee involvement, efficient processes, at continuous improvement. Next slide po. Next is JIT concept and elements. JIT is not just a technique, but a philosophy aimed at reducing waste. It includes the following. First is eliminating non-value added activities. Second is simplifying processes. Third is ensuring quality at every stage. Fourth is using POCA or error prevention methods. Lastly is maintaining equipment through preventive maintenance. The goal is to achieve maximum efficiency with minimum resources. So, dito naman po, ang JIT ay hindi lang basta isang technique, kundi isang philosophy na aimed sa waste reduction. And ang mga core elements nito ay ang eliminate ng non-value added activities, pag-simplify ng processes, pag-ensure ng quality at every stage, paggamit ng POCA at pag-maintain ng equipment through
preventative maintenance. Ang ultimate goal naman nito ay is to achieve the maximum efficiency with minimum resources. Next slide po. Next is definition of supply chain management. Supply chain management, or SCM, involves managing the flow of goods from raw materials to finished products across different countries. Many products sold in supermarkets from various parts of the world, showing how global markets are interconnected. Companies set up production in places like China or Mexico to reduce cost of labor and materials. Raw materials may come from regions such as Africa, while products are manufactured, stored, and distributed through complex global networks. Overall, SCM, or supply chain management, ensures that the right product is delivered at the right time, place, and cost to meet customer demand. Dito naman po, ang SCM, or also known as supply chain management, ay ang pagmamanage ng flow of goods from raw materials to finished products. Yun nga, to across different countries. And tinatakil naman nito kung paano connected ang global markets with companies setting up production sa places like China or Mexico, at sourcing raw materials from regions like Africa, and ina-assure ng supply chain management na ang right products ay nadideliver sa tamang oras, lugar, and cost para ma-meet ang customer demand through complex global networks. Next reporter po.
So, information technology and SCM. Information technology plays a vital role in SCM by integrating all business processes. ERP system help organization manage procurement, production, sales, and finance efficiently. IT enables real-time tracking, better decision-making, and improved coordination across global supply chains. So in information technology and SCM is important siya sa supply chain management kasi dito nakakonect yung lahat ng processes ng isang company mula procurement, production, hanggang sales at finance. So gamit yung system tulad ng ERP and or yung enterprise resource planning, nagiging organized and connected lahat ng department. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng data nasa isang system lang siya. Kasi, mas madali siyang ma-access or gamitin. So, nakakatulong din sa IT yung patulad ng real-time tracking, nakikita agad kung nasaan yung products or materials. So, example dito is yung sa factory, makikita agad kung paubos na yung mga raw materials, kaya nakaka-order agad. Then the second is better decision making. Dahil sa pag-update ng data, mas mabilis makakapag-decide yung management. So, may example din tayo dito is kapag mataas yung demand, pwedeng dagdagan ng production. Then yung last is improved coordination. Mas maayos yung communication between supplier, company, and customer. So, example din dito is kapag nade-delay yung delivery, ma-adjust agad yung production schedule. So, sa production, mini-make sure niya na yung IT is hindi naubos ang materials. Then, sa operation naman is tutulungan nito na maging efficient and smooth yung buong process. So, for overall, yung IT is parang utak siya ng supply chain kasi siya yung nagbibigay ng information and control. So yung next is logistics in SCM. Logistics is an important part of supply chain management that focuses on how goods and information are moved from one place to another efficiently. So it includes the number one is transportation, moving products from suppliers to factories, warehouse or customers. Then second, it's warehousing, storing goods safely until they are needed. Then number three is inventory management, keeping track of stock levels to avoid shortages or excess. So in logistic and SCM is logistic naman is tungkol sa pagdala and pag-store ng products mula sa supplier hanggang customer. So ito yung actual na movement ng goods. So first one is transportation. Then yung paglipat ng products from one to place to another. Then example is delivery ng raw materials papunta sa factory or products papunta sa customers. Then yung second one is warehousing, pag-store ng products habang hindi pa ginagamit o binibenta. Example dito is yung warehouse kung saan natago or nakalagay yung stocks bago i-deliver. Then yung last is inventory management, yung pag-monitor ng stocks para hindi kulang or sobra. Then yung may example dito is yung kapag sobra yung stock, sayang yung space and cost. Kapag kulang, nawawala ng benta. So, pag kinonect natin siya sa production and operation management, yung sa production, kailangan ng tamang materials sa tamang oras. Kapag na-delay kasi yung delivery, titigil yung production. Then sa operations naman, kapag kailangan efficient yung process, kasi IT systems ay tumutulong para ma-monitor lahat. So, example, sa isang bottled water company, pag yung IT nagmo-monitor ng demand, then yung logistic naman is nagde-deliver ng materials, then yung sa production is gumagawa sila ng mga product. Then sa logistics ulit is nagdi-distribute sa stores. So kapag may problema yung isa, ma-affectan siya ng lahat. So in overall, yung summary ng lahat yung IT at logistics is parehong important sa supply chain management. Then yung IT nagbibigay ng information tsaka control. Habang yung logistic naman is bahala siya sa movement ng products. Kapag maayos yung dalawang yan is nagiging mabilis, then efficient, successful yung operation ng isang company. Yun lang. Next slide. Next reporter. Magandang araw po. I'm Lovely Meliciano Bondok. Yung topic po na napunta sa akin is yung logistic operation. Dito po is, ano nga ba ang role ng logistic operation? Malaki ang role ng logistics sa global trade. Pag-manage ng movement ng goods at information across borders. Kadalasan, involved dito ang partners para i-handle ang transportation, warehousing at data flow. At yung sa IGT principles, for instance, ay naglalayo ng lead, logistic at minimal inventories. Ang effective logistic ay nangangailangan ng real-time tracking, optimized operation at smooth coordination between supplier, warehouse at distributors worldwide. Okay. Nagsaktol. Logistics Service Providers, 3PL. Third-party logistics is when companies
source their logistic activity of external providers to improve efficiency and reduce costs. Una, transportation of goods, moving products from one place to another. Warehouse and storage. Keep goods in a safe place or warehouse until they are next or delivered. Inventory management. Tracking and controlling stock to make sure there is enough supply and no excess of storage. Cargo handling, loading, unloading, packaging, organizing goods for safe transport. Freight forward and shipment, arranging and management the delivery of goods by booking transport, ship, airplane, truck, and handling document for shipping. Ang third-party logistic naman ay kapag ang mga kumpanya ay outsource ang kanilang logistic activities sa external providers para mag-improve ng efficiency at i-reduce ng cost. Kasama sa 3PL, service and transportation ng goods, warehousing at storage, inventory management, ordering handling, loading, unloading, packaging, and push forward, pag-a-arrange ng deliver by various move like truck, ship, or plane, pati na rin ang pag-handle ng shipping document. The next. National logistic. International logistic deals with global transportation of goods via sea, air, rail, and road. Most global trade, about 80%, happens through sea routines due to cost efficiency. It involves shipping lines, ports, custom, and global trade routes. Dito na ang national logistic ay tumutukoy sa global transportation ng goods, primarily by sea and road. Malaki ang porsyento, around 80% ng global trade ay nangyayari via sa roads dahil mas cost-efficient ito. Involved din nito ang pag-optimize ng shipping lines, ports, custom, and global trades within and between nations. Next reporter po.
Finished goods supply chain. Finished goods supply chain are very dynamic and are the backbone of a good sales organization. Some departments are responsible for working in coordination and seamlessly to ensure finished goods reach the markets and the customers. Logistics and supply chain departments have to work in tandem with or aim to be ahead of marketing and sales and ensure that when a product is announced for sale by marketing, the products are made available at all nook and corner of the city, state, and country. Yung finished goods supply chain, ito yung proseso kung paano dinadala yung mga tapos ng produkto mula sa company papunta sa customers. Kapag ready na ibenta yung product, nagtutulungan yung departments tulad ng logistics, marketing, at sales para siguradong available ito sa mga tindahan at sa market. Yung goal nito ay ma-deliver ang products ng mabilis at maayos lalo na kapag mataas ang demand. Next. Sunod naman is yung spare parts supply chain. Today, brand image and customer demand depend not only on product quality but also on strong service support. Industries like computers, telecom, and aerospace require fast response times and readily available spare parts. Companies must ensure the critical systems such as bank servers have minimal or zero downtime. To achieve this, business build an efficient spare parts supply chain with 24/7 service support. Spare parts are usually stocked of country or regional distribution centers based on demand and usage. If parts are not available locally, they are quickly shipped from regional centers using urgent delivery services to reduce downtime. Ito naman ay tungkol sa availability ng mga replacement parts. Importante ito lalo na sa industries like computers, telecoms at aerospace kung saan bawal tumigil ang operations. Kaya ang companies nag-i-stock ng spare parts sa iba't ibang lugar at gumamit ng mabilis na delivery para maiwasan ang delay o downtime. Ang main goal naman nito ay mabilis na service at satisfied na customers. Next po. Reverse logistics. Supply chain management is no longer limited to moving raw materials to customers, as it now also includes a process called reverse logistics. Reverse logistics deals with the movement of finished goods, packaging materials, and parts from customers back to the company. This usually happens through product returns, warranty claims, or unsold items from retailers. The goal is to recover value from returned products whenever possible. Companies do this rough repairing, refurbishing, recycling, or reusing materials. Overall, reverse logistics helps reduce waste, save costs, and improve sustainability in supply chain operation. Ang reverse logistics ay proseso kung saan ang products ay bumabalik mula customer papunta sa company. Nangyari ito kapag may returns, sira ang item, may warranty claim o unsold items. Imbis na itapon, sinusubukan ng companies ng i-repair o i-recycle o i-reuse ang mga to. Nakakatulong to para mabawasan yung waste, makatipid sa cost at maging eco-friendly ang operations. Next reporter po.
Good day, everyone. I am Mark Yanlaw. And my topic is about 3PL contract logistics, warehouse management system, and documentation in SCM. 3PL contract logistics. While freight forwarding is an important function of 3PL service providers to facilitate the supply chain, another equally important function managed by 3PL logistics companies is contract logistics. Under the broad umbrella of contract logistics, 3PL providers provide services of setting up consolidation centers, distribution centers, warehouses, and inventory management services. So, ang freight forwarding ay mahalagang serbisyo ng 3PL dahil ito ang nag-aasikaso ng pagpapadala ng mga goods. Bukod dito, may isa pang importanteng function ng 3PL na tinatawag na contract logistics. Ang contract logistics ay tumutukoy sa mas malawak na serbisyo kung saan ang 3PL company ay bahala sa pag-manage ng logistic operations ng isang negosyo. Yan yung pag-set up ng consolidation centers, pag-manage ng distribution centers, pagpapatakbo ng warehouses, inventory management para mas maging maayos, mabilis at efficient ang operation. Next slide po. So, warehouse management system, it helps manage inventory and warehouse operations. It controls storage and tracking, order processing, picking and packing. It improves accuracy and efficiency in warehouse operations. So, ang warehouse management system ay isang system na ginagamit para maayos na ma-manage ang inventory at operation sa loob ng warehouse. Nakakatulong ito sa pag-track ng items, pag-process ng orders, packing, kaya nagiging mas mabilis, organized at accurate ang buong warehouse operations. Next slide po. Documentation in SCM. Documentation is critical in supply chain operations, especially in international trade. It ensures legal compliance, smooth custom clearance, accurate financial transactions. Errors in documentation can lead to delays and financial losses. So, ang documentation sa supply chain ay tumutukoy sa mga mahalagang papeles na kailangan para maging legal, maayos at tuloy-tuloy ang paggalaw ng mga products or goods. Tinutulungan nito ang tamang proseso sa customs, pagbabayad at delivery kaya may iwasan ng delay at financial losses. Next reporter po. Good day everyone. My name is John Paul C. Evangelista. I present aggregate product planning. An organization and finalize its business plan on the recommendation of demand forecast. One business plans are already unorganized can be backward working for final sales. Unit raw materials required. Thus, annual and quarterly plans are broke down into labor, raw material, working capital, etc. Requirements over medium range period 6 months to 18 months. This process of working out production requirements for a medium range is called aggregate planning. Aggregate planning. Dito pinafinalize ng isang organisasyon ang business plan nila based sa demand forecast. Sa process na ito, binabalik tanaw nila ang business required working background for finished unit to raw materials and processes na ito ay nag-required na decision making sa labor, raw material, working capital at equipment requires over medium range period. Ang planning na ito ay para sa medium range na tinatawag na aggregate product planning. Next slide. Ngayon, dito. Factor affecting aggregate planning. Aggregate planning balance long-term goals with short-term production needs to meet customer demand efficiency. It uses data like demand forecast, product capacity, workforce, inventory, and cost to effectively. Its main goal is aligned to workforce, inventory, and production levels with business objective while ensuring efficiency. Factor affecting aggregate. Binabalance ng aggregate planning ang long-term goals sa short-term production needs para ma-meet ng customer ang demand efficiently. Gumagamit ito ng data tulad ng demand forecast, production capacity, workforce, inventory, and cost para maging effective ang pangunahing layunin. Ito ay aligned ng workforce, inventory, at production levels sa business objective para sa overall operating efficiency. Next po si Mark Arabeo. Thank you. Mark A. Arabeo. Ang napunta po sa aking report is aggregate planning as a tool. Aggregate planning helps organization manage demand capacity through hiring or layoffs, overtime, outsourcing. So, alamin muna natin yung ano nga ba yung aggregate planning as a tool. So, yung aggregate planning, ito yung kasangkapan o organization na planuhin yung pamamahala ng dami ng produkto ng isang company. Pati yung mga neto, yung mga manggagawa na kumbaga layunin nito yung demand na matugunan yung dami ng produkto o serbisyo. Tapos binabawasan din ito yung gastos ng isang company sa produkto. Yung mga different naman nito yung ay kabilang naman dito yung hiring or layoffs. Sa hiring layoffs naman, ito yung pagkuha o pagtanggal ng empleyado. Sa madaling salita, pwedeng mag-hire yung company ng mga employee para matugunan yung dami ng produkto na kailangan ng isang company. Sa layoffs naman, pwede nilang bawasan yung workforce nila para makatipid sila sa sa gastos o sweldo ng mga manggagawa sa company. Tapos outsourcing naman, yung outsourcing naman, ito yung pagsasagawa ng company kapag yung gagawin nilang produkto is hindi nila kayang tapusin or matugunan yung serbisyo, pwede nila itong outsourcing. Kumbaga, hihingi sila ng tulong sa ibang company na magawa yung produkto nang hindi naantala yung operation nito. Thus, it ensures smooth and production operation. Next slide na po. Importance of aggregate planning. Aggregate planning helps reduce costs, lower expenses, and production and operation. Kumbaga, nakakatulong ito na mabawasan ang gastos ng production o sa operation. Kumbaga sa company, nakakatulong itong reduce cost na allocate nila yung mga gastos pati yung operation nila sa company para hindi ganong magastos yung pagsasagawa ng produkto ng isang company. Improve resources utilization. Use materials, time, and labor more efficiently. Kumbaga, pinapahusay nito yung paggamit ng materyales, oras at lakas ng mas mahusay. Kumbaga, wala silang sinasayang na materials sa isang produkto, tapos ginagamit nila ito kumbaga yung materials walang nasasayang kasi napaplano ng mabuti. Increase customer satisfaction. Meet customer needs with better quality and time delivery. Kumbaga yung customer, yung pangangailangan nila ng isang produkto is nasasatisfy sila sa kalidad at yung quality, kumbaga maganda yung quality na dumadating sa kanila na product. Maintain steady production. Ensure smooth and continuous workflow without delay. Kumbaga napapanitili yung production na epektibo at tuloy-tuloy yung daloy nito. Tuloy-tuloy yung daloy ng produksyon sa isang company. Para mas maging maganda yung serbisyo nito sa kanilang customer. Next reporter po is Disuyo.
Good morning everyone. I'm Angelo Disuyo and my topic is aggregate planning strategy. May tatlong paunahin ng aggregate planning. Una, level strategy keeps production at fixed steady rate regardless of demand. Access demand is handled through inventory or back orders. Ang level strategy, pinapanatiling steady o fixed ang production rate kahit nagbabago ang demand. Ang sobrang demand ay ina-accommodate gamit ang inventory o back orders. Next, chase strategy. Adjust production levels to directly match customer demand, increasing or decreasing output as needed. Chase strategy. Ina-adjust ang production level para diretsong mag-match sa demand ng customer. Dinadagdagan o binabawasan ng output base sa kailangan. Hybrid strategy. Combine steady production with flexible adjustment through balance efficiency and demand change. Ang hybrid strategy, combination ng dalawa, pinagsasama ang steady production at flexible adjustment para mabalanse ang efficiency at pagbabago ng demand. Next slide. Para sa kabuuan ng lahat ng topic, ang MRP, sinusigurong available ang materials kapag kailangan. JIT, focus sa pagbawas ng waste o hindi kailangan bagay. SCM, nagmamanage ng flow ng goods mula simula hanggang dulo. Logistics, tumutulong sa movement at storage ng productions. Aggregate planning, nagbabalance ng demand at capacity ng production. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat.